This is UFC box number 32, and the entire box belongs to Mark D. So no random needed. It's going out to our buddy Mark D. So let's see if we can pull him some good hits out of this box. Yeah, man, this is always a good break, buddy, because it's only 7 spots, you know. So I agree. All right, good luck, Mark. I hope I find you a Tate, buddy, and some other good stuff in here, man. It's going out to you, sir. All right, there's a BJ pin right there. Ryan Faber. Here's a Chromier right here. Check this out. 143 of 188. There you go, buddy. There you go. 143 of 188 right there. Another Faber and Vellante. I follow MMA pretty close, buddy. All right, it's a Jake Shields right there, former Strikeforce guy. Munoz right there, that's numbered to 219, 116 of 219. Here's a Conor McGregor featherweight card. That's pretty cool right there. 36 of 36 right there. Very nice. Here's a Dan Henderson right here. And a Lentz base. All right, next up in UFC Knockouts, personal box for Mark D. Pena right there from Ultimate Fighter. Base, here's a Kennedy right there, base card. Here's a Roop 94 of 219. Good old George Roop. And then we've got Akiyama. All right, auto, look at that. 13 of 200 right there. Very nice. Right there, 13 of 200. I don't think we've pulled him before. That is very beautiful. Yes, indeed. And then Kat Zingano right there. All right. There's Big Country Roy Nelson. All right. Big Country Roy Nelson. Here's a Rosholt base. John Bones Jones, hung out with him last weekend, 41 of 99. Awesome dude, by the way. John Bones Jones. And then we've got a Mark Munoz right here. That's going to be an auto, red ink. All right, 15 of 15. Good number right there. Mark Munoz auto. The Filipino wacky something. I don't know what that says. The last word. Anybody? Something like that. Benvenidez base. Wrecking Machine. Okay. Thanks, buddy. That's pretty cool, man. I do not. I think he's going to tear it up, buddy. There's a Raquel Pennington right there. There's no way he's losing that lead. There's a Thompson right there. Yes, he is. Here's a Tavares right here, 194 of 219. Rafael Dos Anjos right here. There's an auto, 137 of 149. All right. That's cool. And there's a McGregor base. All right, Shogun Rua right there. Here's a Brown number to 219. Here's a Pat Barry right here. Pat Barry right there. 87 of 188 right there. Pat Barry. Jerry right there and Romero. All right, 2 packs left here in the personal box for our buddy Mark D. There's a Robbie Lawler base card. Trujillo right here. 47 of 219. Here's a George St. Pierre. All right. George St. Pierre. Right there. Look at that. Quebec. Oh, yeah. 8 of 9 right there. George St. Pierre. Very nice. Here's a Davis base and Ronda Rousey, the 16-second Warrior. All right, last pack. In a UFC Box 32 for Mark D. All right, Chael Sonnen right there. Barboza. Here's a Barnett, 160 of 219. And here's another Josh Barnett. It's going to be an auto. All right, War Master. That is nasty right there. 13 of 18 War Master. And then we got a Carlos Conduit right there. All right. There you go, Mark. That's for you, buddy. Hope you enjoy your cards, man. You're very welcome. Let's save that for YouTube. That was UFC Box 32 for our buddy Mark D.